the next thing I want to talk to you is about the demographics. How many Jews, how many Arabs, how many others? And so the Arab comprise, the nation is comprised of about 20% of the population is Arab. About 1,800,000 Arabs live in the land. And then we also have a small, about 13%, really, well, let's see, 20, I would say 10%. About 10% is Christians and those that have come from other nations. They're not Jewish, all right? You have a Christian population. And you also, even among the Arabs, you have an Islamic Arab population, you have an Arab Christian population. So in that regard, it's quite diverse. However, about 74%, and I think that's also increased. We're actually toppling right now. We're over 7 million Jews. So we're 1 million more than were destroyed in the Holocaust here in 2020. So we're over 7 million now, moving very quickly to 8 million. And we make up about 75%. So technically, that leaves us with maybe 5% of other, not 10%. Regardless, the Jewish majority exists here in the land. It is not the Arab majority. And it's one of the reasons, even when you hear a lot about the peace agreements, and what the Arabs want is the right of return. And so the right of return is a very interesting right, because technically the majority of that 1.8 million Arabs that are here were not original to the land. They came from all of the Arab countries surrounding Israel. They migrated here. So giving a right of return for those that were immigrants, all right, is a very, very interesting and complex subject that Israel deals with all the time. Of course, we have said, no, you cannot have the right of return because this wasn't your land to begin with in the first place. And not only that, you don't want an Arab majority, because the problem with an Arab majority is the ideology of Islam, unfortunately, has only one agenda, and that is to either destroy the Jewish state or to completely delegitimize it and turn it over and make it an Arab state. So this is the reality of the complexity of the issues here in Israel. Now, 75% of those 75%, so 75% of the Jews are what they call sabras. Boy, I really hate that. Get some water here. So that is the complexity that we are dealing with here in Israel. Now, let's take a look at the breakdown of the Jews. Now, 75% of the 75%, all right, 75% of the 7+ million Jews that are here in the land are considered what's known as sabras. Sabras are those that were born here in Israel. So the other 25% are what are called immigrants, or olim. Olim is the term for those that have immigrated to Israel. And the immigration process is actually called aliyah. And aliyah means to go up. And aliyot, when you made aliyah, in the synagogue, if you have an aliyah, you're actually going up to the Torah. Jerusalem is the high place, so when you're making aliyah, you're going up to Jerusalem. There's also the component of aliyah that had to do with the sacrificial offering and the smoke that would ascend up to Hashem. So all of these aspects of ascent, going up, are connected to the word aliyah. So you have the Jews that make aliyah, these are the immigrants, they are the olim, and then you have those that are born here, which are the Sfardim, all right, or the Sabras, actually, Sfardim. Scratch the fact that I said that. The Sabras, Sfardim is another aspect of Jewry. So in the type of Jew, you have two types of Jews. You have European Jews, which are Ashkenazic, and you have, or Ashkenazim, and you have really, I don't want to just say, you have Middle Eastern Jews, all right, that from Morocco and Tunisia and Syria, and then also those that were born of Spanish descent. So Spain and even from Latin America, these Spanish Middle Eastern Jews are known as Sfardim. So you have two types of Jews, and they are really traditionally relegated to the areas that they came from. Ashkenazim, Sfardim. Then you have religious breakdowns. So you have what's called the Haredi, the ultra-Orthodox Jews. You have also in between a modern Orthodox Jew. And then you also have movements that are really more prevalent in America called conservative Judaism and Reform Judaism. And then there's some fringe called Reconstructionist. So you have the Haredim, the conservative, the Reformed, and the Reconstructionist. The only type of Judaism that is recognized here in Israel is Orthodox Judaism. Ultra-Orthodox, modern Orthodox, but if you are going to be recognized as a religious Jew or a Jew in the religious system here in Israel, you have to be Orthodox. And what's interesting about that is if you are practicing Reformed or conservative and you move to Israel, your Jewish descent, all right, the fact that you're Jewish gets you citizenship, and it gets you really everything you need as far as living here. But you would still not be able to marry here. You wouldn't be able to divorce. There are some very practical aspects of civil life here that is controlled by the Orthodox community. And you would not be able to partake of that if you're a conservative or Reformed Jew. So you would actually have to go through a type of conversion or a Baal Shuvah where you're actually coming fully back into the Orthodox movement. So a lot of Jews, even though they are Jews, okay, have to actually go through a process to be fully integrated into both the religious and the civil life here in Israel. We also have another really sect here in Israel that is a very, very loyal, pro-Israel sect, and they're called the Druze, the Druzim. And the Druze, they have a kind of a mishmash of a belief system between Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. It's kind of really a mishmash. However, what's interesting about the Druze is they are really technically categorized like in their own sect, And so because of that, they're not in the camp of the Arabs. So they're actually able, they not only can be Israeli citizens, but at the same time, they are allowed to serve in the army, and they are allowed to really be part of a more full circumference of Israeli life. Where the Arabs, they can be citizens. You have Arabs that live within the Israeli communities, and they can have Israeli citizenship. But okay, so there's so the Druze, so okay, so you can have Arabs that are living in the Israeli communities, and those Arabs have Israeli citizenship, but they're not allowed to serve in the army. They can't serve in the military, unlike the Druze, who are allowed to really embrace the fullness of Israeli life, and they're allowed to serve in the military. And they're allowed to become leaders and colonels and generals, and they're allowed to really be a full part of the Jewish community here in Israel, unlike the Arab community. So we see that a lot of these issues are interesting and very complex in the way that Israel has come together as a modern state. So that's going to be it for today. This is your first video. Make sure you let's see. So that's going to be a wrap for today. We talked about the demographics of Israel, and the next video we're going to be talking about the political system of Israel. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Tell your friends and family, share the webpage, get them to opt in so they can get this video series on Israel. You're going to find it to be very, very interesting. You're going to learn a lot about Israel, a lot of things that people actually don't know. And also, again, if you're wanting to come to Israel, make sure that you PM me, email me, and also check out the link below. Come to Israel, be part of the tours that we're doing, because these are behind the scenes tours, very strategically developed, so you can meet aspects of Israel that very few ever get to see, and also you get to really connect with the culture, connect with the people, and you're gonna love it, and connect with the food. Ooh. All right, so until the next video, pray for Israel, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and thank you so much again for subscribing. We'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye-bye. Thank you again for opting in, and I hope you enjoyed this video. This is just one video in the series of 10 videos, and so what we want you to do is make sure you read the letter that comes with the video, because below we have links that connect you to our Facebook group on U.S.-Israel Relations, where you can become really a person who's like so up to date on Israel, because it's kind of the one-stop shop for everything you need to know that's going on in Israel. So we have that link also to YouTube, where I go a little more in depth in our issues behind the scenes concerning Israel. And that is also Our Voice, U.S.-Israel Relations, and U.S.-Israel Issues. All right, so sign up for both our YouTube channels, sign up for our Facebook channel, and if you're on the others like Twitch and Periscope, sign up for all of that. It's all listed below. And then in addition to that, we also have the link to our tours. So we have niche tours. These are not your regular pilgrimage tours. We partner with another land tour company here in Israel to bring you some of the most really cutting edge, behind the scenes tours. We have a 15-person tour coming up in May. If you'd like to get in on that, take a look at the landing page and see if that interests you. I don't want to even tell you to see if it interests you. It's going to be so interesting. I've taken people on these tours. They are just blown away, because not only do you have a tour guide, but you actually are going to meet military intelligence, national security advisors. You are going to meet innovators, and that's in addition to the regular tour. So you want to be a part of that if the time affords you to come in May. Otherwise, we have small niche tours that are based on the same really type of itinerary that you see in the 15-person tour that is 4 to 6 people. And so it's 4 to 6, it's affordable, and it is a lot of fun. Okay, so you want to make sure you message me about that. And if you just want to come to Israel on your own or with a friend, then what you want to do is contact me. We have a B&B and we can host you. Hopefully the timings we're not already full, but make sure you contact us. We'll host you, and then we'll also help you with your itinerary and get you on your way to one of the best vacations, trips, tours you've ever had in your life. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.